and I'm damn glad it is. I'm glad the meeting's being recorded. What's up, guys? Are you glad you clicked on the link when I shared it to the group chat? Yeah, that's how I get 90% of my views. Yeah. So, what do you guys think of the fit? Oilers? It's way too big for me. That's why I'm not actually, that much of a chonkster, but the jersey's too big. I'm not, I got the man titties that big, but moving on. Book tier list. Every book I read this year. And I know people are saying, no, everyone who's watching this who's about to click off is saying, I don't care. Good. You should not. It's pathetic. But damn it, it's the only thing I've been doing for the last few months is reading books and playing video games and doing homework. It's a sad existence. I need other hobbies. I need to go out more, but it's a pandemic. What do? You stay inside and you read Notes from Underground and live that incel lifestyle. Okay, moving on. Let's start the list. F tier. The Namesake. I had to read this one for school. It's like below F tier. Oh God, it's so bad. Oh, something. Oh, Gogol. He's named Gogol. Why do I have to be named Gogol? Oh, I found out there's a good reason I'm named Gogol. Oh, the author thinks her prose is like some heat, but really it's weak as hell. I mean, she writes better than I am. A lot better than I ever will be able to. My English teacher really likes the book, but I just don't like the plot. And I think it's boring. Super boring. It's like 450 pages, and I feel like nothing happens. And it's just telling the story of like a suburban person, and it like doesn't even focus on the interesting, like, identity, like crisis, like it does. But it's like, oh, I'm half Bengali, half American, and they talk about it, but they focus on it less than I feel like they could have. But I haven't read it in a little while. I'm probably super wrong. All right, moving on. Option Quebec. It would be S tier, but it's in French because I ordered it and it came in French and I can't read French. Final F tier. Change We Can Believe In by Barack Obama. Read this, build a time machine, read it in 2007, and it'll hit different. But in this year, there's no point reading it because it's not really relevant at all. Some of his speeches were cool, though. He gave a speech at like a church in Chicago. It's cool about like, you gotta be a good man. Shit like that. Just like basic stuff. It's cool. E tier. Romeo and Juliet. Had to read this for school. And I just found myself not caring about it. It's like, no, don't kill yourself. No, Romeo and Juliet, don't do it. No, you're so hot. No. But it's like, meanwhile, there's a literal, epidemic in Mantua. The peasantry is being just being decimated by war, famine, the disease. And I'm supposed to care about these two people who are like, oh, I want to love you, but I can't because our families are angry. It's like, I don't give a shit. I don't care. You're 14. You're 14. He's like 17. What are you doing? Go play some basketball. Like, Jesus Christ. You can't even hoop, I bet, because it's like 1,500. You can't even hoop. Let alone play hockey. It's in Italy. Way you can play hockey. Moving on. E tier, Romeo and Juliet, my least favorite of all the Shakespeare I've read. Born in Blood and Fire. It's a history textbook. It's a concise history of Latin America, except I don't like it. Like, I usually like reading history books, but I just don't like it. Because it's it's like not poorly written, but it like doesn't go in depth on anything. It's like very like summary-y, and obviously you can't cover the history of Latin America in 400 pages, but like I'd prefer focused examples in certain countries rather than like 2 sentences on what's happening in each country in a certain time period. It's like pick one, go in depth on that, cover other stuff a little bit, but try to like use a good example. I just find that to be, I guess, more interesting to read in general. Last E tier, the book Open, which is like the case for free trade and global capital. Bitch, what? So stupid. So stupid. It's like the progressive case. How we can destroy infrastructure in the third world progressively. Dog. That's all I have to say. Also, how we can deindustrialize the Midwest. Oh, progressively. If you say so. I don't say. I think it's wrong what they say, but there's some cool graphs about like wealth inequality in it. That's why it's E tier. It's also boring to read. And I just came off of like reading Dead Souls. So I was like, oh, let's go. I'm pogging out. Reading's so fun. And then it's like, this is why Mexico, the infrastructure in Mexico City needs to be bad so that PlayStations are cheaper. Moving on. D tier. Beowulf. Like, I mean, he kind of goes off. Slay King, Beowulf, Slay. Slay Grendel, Slay Grendel's mama, and then die to the dragon. It's cool. It's old. It's actually it's super cool. It's like a cool tale, but I don't know, like the random like songs and stuff. Like it's cool. It's a cool book. But I don't know. I guess I didn't fully appreciate it when I read it. And it's like also just I don't know. It's fine. The Cyprus problem, D tier. It's just like a super general overview of the conflict. It's like a pamphlet. It's like 100 pages. I read it in like 2 days. It was, general information about a subject. Nothing. I didn't expect anything more. It's not a narrative at all. It's not even like good historical writing. It's just facts. Here's a few facts. Explain a gnosis. Explain tax sim, and you finish the book. Which is fine by me. I learned about, the situation, and that's all I expected. So it's from Oxford, so it's like legit. Another D tier. The book I read about Michael Manley, was super cool. And my only issue with it was the kind of structure of the writing. Was it would like go through, but it wouldn't really cover like a main thing. I can't really explain it. It would like never mind. But yeah, I learned a little information about Michael Manley, Prime Minister of Jamaica, and the situation. It was cool. The writer was kind of wishy-washy, but it was good. I forget the writer's name. I think it's David Paxton. It was a good book. I didn't know anything about Michael Manley going in, and it was just nice to learn a little bit. C tier, The End of Poverty, by Jeff Sachs. I liked it. I mean, it was like, the way we can end poverty is through the IMF. I don't know, but you can tell he actually does care about global inequality and the real problems facing the world, and he's been on the ground in these places, and I obviously have a lot of respect for him, just because of that. And well, he disagrees with Mr. 15-year-old talking on YouTube. I obviously, it's great what he did, I guess, in Bolivia with the currency. He saved the currency. And then he also supported Goni Lozada, who like massacred protesters later. But he saved the currency and the tin industry. So that's good. And that's good. And also supported Solidarity in Lech Walesa, in Poland. That's cool. He helped describe the different forms of industrialization, like I think he described the 4 different forms, and he used countries as examples. He used Malawi, Bangladesh, India, and I think somewhere in Europe. It was cool, and just get a better scope of global poverty, and how there is a way to end it. I mean, how it really is something that can be dealt with. And he describes one route, which I'm not too sure about, but what do I know, obviously. But that it's not like that this is a problem that can be solved. It's not something that we just have to, let happen. Poverty, we have the resources to be done with it. It's simply a matter of will, basically. So, another C tier, America's role in nation building. The Neocon Manual. It's cool. It gives information about different interventions from Haiti to obviously Iraq, West Germany, Japan, a few others. It was good. It's like it is like a neocon manual on what to do when we invade a country. But information, right, about different contexts and how the U.S. relates to them, even if it's biased and skewed in like a neocon direction. But that's fine. It was just interesting to learn about stuff that actually I had very little knowledge of, especially Haiti. So that was cool. B tier, The Hate You Give. This was really good. It was fun to read. I read it for school. It's powerful. It's super powerful. Honestly, it could be A tier. But I just had to read it for school. And when you read something for school, it just makes it worse, in my opinion, because you're like, oh, I got to answer the study questions or something. But it was good. Super good. I recommend it if you want to just read it. The characters are likable. And it's pretty powerful, like I said, and it's relevant to the current moment. So I recommend it. And it's relevant to any moment, obviously. But yeah. Next B tier, Macbeth. I'm not finished with this one. I'm reading it for school. But I like it a lot more than Romeo and Juliet, that's for sure. Lady Macbeth, a psycho. Chill out. Jesus, basketball is calling. Just go hoop. No need to, be orchestrating regicide. Don't need to do that. Just chill. Oh, but these random ladies in the woods said I should do it. Oh, they said I'll be king. Nerd. I mean, I'm not sure what happens, actually. Obviously, I haven't finished it. So we shall see. Next, Harvest of Empire by Juan Gonzalez. Super cool book. Talks about a lot about it, just like the Latino community in the United States, a lot about Puerto Rico, a lot about NAFTA, and how that has destroyed life within many, within Mexico, obviously NAFTA, but like in the many Mexican cities along the border and Mexico City itself, and just like how people move from historic agricultural, like family rooted places into the city. The infrastructure gets, effed because there's so many more people. It's like favelas. And then, fuck, I'm tired. Yeah. And then it becomes more difficult to transport goods, and it's just like bad. He talks about just the historic legacy of Spanish speaking people in the United States, different waves of immigration from different places, and colonial occupation in Puerto Rico. So, yeah, moving on. A concise history of the Armenian people. It's a history book. It's good. It's pretty detailed. I learned a lot about the concise history of the Armenian people. So yeah, it's cool. It's by, guarantee his name ends with YAN or IAN. I should forget who it's by, but it's good. A lot of information about the entire history of the people. If you're interested in it, I'd recommend it, I guess. All right, A tier, Chechnya, Calamity in the Caucasus. super interesting, by Thomas DeWall. Describes the 1991 to 1994 to 1996. I was thinking of Nagorno-Karabakh for a second. The conflict there describes the Maikop brigades, invasion of Grozny, the ensuing struggle, the internal struggle within Russia. Also goes into the history a little bit, Alexei Yermolov, Imam Shamil, all that stuff. Describes, the 300-year struggle against Russia. And it's fascinating. Chechen mafia, Chechen rituals, culture, the genocide in the 40s, a lot of concepts, a lot of different stuff. And it was great. So A tier. Next, Against the Web by Michael Brooks. This one's obviously bittersweet, considering it's the only book he'll write, but just judging off of the caliber of this one, if only he was still alive, he could write a lot of great books. Only reason it's A tier, it's only a pamphlet. It's only 90 or so pages, but I mean, just watching the Michael Brooks show, he has like a frightening intellect, and he's also really funny, and he was just great at what he did, and he just knew so much stuff, and he's gotten me interested in a lot of these topics. I would never have read about Michael Manley if not for the show. So yeah, Against the Web, A tier. Next, A tier, Women's Empowerment in Africa by Thomas Sankara. It was only 70 pages. It was super short. I read it in one sitting. It was like $2 at a bookstore, so I picked it up. It's great. It was a speech he was giving to a group of women in Burkina Faso. He focuses on how coexist in layers of oppression, wherein the Burkinabe man is oppressed by like imperialism and capitalism, and yet he always has another being subservient to him, that is his wife, and how this is how not only Burkinabe society but societies around the world have been structured, and how really the structure has no basis on anything innate or biological, obviously, and how such patriarchy and brutal systems of oppression need to be combated. And he talks about, and Sankara himself, he was serious about empowerment. He gave women roles in government, in infrastructure planning, and the army, big important jobs. So he was serious about it. It was good. The only reason it's not S tier, because I have another book by him which has that speech in it, along with like a dozen other speeches. So it's like, just has that plus more. Next, The Idiot, by Dostoevsky. It was good. Rogozin and Mishkin and the whole gang and the whole crew. Elizaveta Prokofievna. I read it a while ago. I'm kind of blanking on the characters, and it is, once again, I always say, the only reason I'm dumb is because it's 3 a.m. For sure. It was good. I didn't really enjoy it as much as other Russian realist writing, and but it was good. Final A tier, Notes from Underground, also by Dostoevsky. It's good. It was good. It's A tier. It's good. I liked it. Solid. For sure. time is it? I can check on my laptop. 2:51. Night's still young. Gay backs call. Warzone. Maybe. Okay. S tier. I'm just gonna say them because damn it, I'm tired. Anna Karenina. Banger. My second favorite book of all time. So good. Just so good. I haven't done a single one of these books justice. I definitely can't do this one justice because some people say it's the best book ever written, and I can't argue. It is phenomenal. Yeah, I can't add anything to any of these books except maybe the Namesake. Because fuck the Namesake. I could probably add so much to it. I'd take out all. I'll just get rid of it. I'm adding by doing away with it. That's how bad it is. Just kidding. If the author watches this, which I know she won't, just keep doing your thing. Honestly, I'm just joking around. I don't, keep doing your thing. People love it, and that's all that matters. You're making people happy, yeah, good. As for Tolstoy, I will tell him keep doing what you're doing, but he is dead, so he can't. But Anna Karenina was good. Black Garden by Thomas DeWall talks about the Nagorno-Karabakh conflict. I learned a ton about the conflict. I highly recommend it if you're interested in it, or if you want to just be educated about it. It's great. It's like 400 pages, not too long. Dead Souls by Nikolai Gogol, phenomenal. The name was tarnished by, the main character in the Namesake, as in whenever I see, oh, look, I opened the book. Oh, there's Gogol. Oh, the Indian guy from the story. That happens. I bet he's conflicted, but yeah, it's great. Chikakov is fantastic. Just going around the Russian countryside, hustling, bustling, making that money, getting that paper, until he gets caught, and his whole veneer of Mr. Sophisticated and clever and all that just washes away while he's dressed in the flames of that ship. I forget the name. Next, Crime and Punishment. I read this back in January, and it's my favorite book ever. It is just absolutely phenomenal. The scenes in it that are just so intense, and you just like it just gets my heart beating. Like when Raskolnikov's going wild, it gets my heart beating. It's like there's nothing like it. I want to reread it. My one of my copies is out on loan. It's Gabe Axcall, who could play Warzone with me. Oh, fuck, I'm tired. Oh, God, if Gabe is like, oh, why'd you put my name in the video? Oh, I don't want to redo this whole thing. No one watches it, Gabe. Chill your shit. Okay. Sankara Speaks, a collection of the speeches by Thomas Sankara. Phenomenal. Just phenomenal. Describes imperialism, neocolonialism, racism, geopolitical dynamics, apartheid in South Africa, Iran-Iraq war, Libya going to war with Chad, solidarity with Nicaragua, with Cuba. It's just like great. And he's obviously was an incredibly intelligent person with great communication skills and just like an amazing communicator, and mobilized the Burkinabe people and all this stuff. So phenomenal. Memoirs by René Lévesque. He's a great writer. I enjoyed reading it. Inner workings of the PQ, all that. He was doing his thing. Vive la Quebec Libre. I got nothing else to say. Hope it happens, baby. Come on in. I got 3 vowels in my name next to each other. I'm basically French Canadian. My grandpa was. So I got that personal attachment to it. And it was great. Lévesque, obviously charismatic writer, charismatic person. His description of his experience in Korea, the October 1970 crisis and the War Measures Act. And dude, my wires are crossed up. Where Pierre Trudeau suspended the Canadian Bill of Rights and allowed the Montreal police to just like enter houses without warrant, and just like basically like, you know, go into people's houses, search everything. And I think they found 36 firearms in over like 1,000 searches looking for FLQ people, and like 20 of them were handguns. Really powerful terrorist front there, because they it was said they'd find thousands of tons of dynamite. Really. All right, last book. I mean, there's actually a ton that I just didn't talk about because I was like, oh my God, this video is already so long. Why did I even do this? I gotta do homework tomorrow. Of Mice and Men. I just reread it in 2 days. It was good. Rip my boy Lenny. He ain't do nothing wrong. God bless. Got shot. It's not right. It's not right. But yeah, so that's all, folks. I really hope you've enjoyed it. I haven't. Truth be told, it's been torturous. I always think I'm going to enjoy these way more than I do. I always think, I'm going to see so much insightful stuff. I'm going to get to the heart of these books. I'm going to discuss my brilliant interpretations of them. And then I'm just like, it's good, and fuck the namesake. But don't fuck the namesake. It's a book. You can't. Pages, like paper cuts on a bad idea. But yeah, funny how I have the most commentary on the book I like the least instead of two of the greatest books of all time. That's all, folks. Thanks. Don't expect, but you could expect more content. I mean, you're not gonna watch